Last time on Dice Funk, amen.
Phillippa is a snowy owl Aarakocra, and she's an anthropologist. She was raised druid. It's like it is her religion. It does give her magic powers. It's there and it's a part of things. But like, you know what she really cares about is studying cultures and learning about them.
Okay, are there any, like, pressable buttons on the obelisk? Can I interact with it?
Yeah, I think there probably are some buttons and some slots for things. So you're like 2/3 of the way there.
And then Sun, Moon, Stars took me to a wonderful hand-picking place where a group of people had frozen into a block of ice.
Oh my
but their
God.
hands were sticking out. So we took the hands and we stuck them onto my body. So Sun, Moon, Stars can hold my hand at any angle.
I like you the way you are, which is to say, the way you're always changing. I don't want you to be anything specific. I just like how you're always trying things and experimenting.
I am curious. I want to know what your dreams are. Did you know that if I integrated with your brain, I could see your dreams?
I'm looking for something, but I'll know it when I see it. Don't worry.
Okay, and it's here, presumably?
Yeah, it was for a friend.
You just have 3 discs you can deploy whenever you want. They can each carry, let's see here. Oh God, it's so much. 500 pounds. So 1,500 pounds added to your carrying capacity.
And Ozzy's going to be walking towards the broken glass.
This is the second person close to the mystic Aze who has gone missing. The first person was never found. Keep an eye out and don't turn your back on it.
I was following the pack, all swallowed in their coats, with scarves of red tied round their throats. They keep their little heads from falling in the snow, and I turn round and there you go. And Michael, you would fall and turn the white so red as strawberries in the summertime.
Austin, you did crimes.
Milkshake crimes.
You need to atone for your crimes.
You've fallen from lawyer down to milkshake criminal.
Allegedly.
How does it feel to have descended so low?
Okay, so here's what happened. I got my girlfriend a milkshake. It's very nice of me to do, if I say so myself.
I see the lawyer talk starting, trying to set us up to be on your side.
Yeah, I believe you have personal experience with this, and I'm sorry, Mari, that you have to hear me argue in this way.
Oh no.
But in my defense, she was stuck in a business meeting for like an hour, and it was sitting there looking at me, all delicious and so forth.
Oh no.
And
No.
I figured, well, she didn't know I was getting it for her. It was a nice surprise, so she won't mind if I just drink it.
Oh my God. You promised a milkshake to a woman and then ate it?
No, it was a surprise milkshake.
Okay, so
It
you
was-
could have just said it. Why didn't you just not say anything?
That's exactly where I went wrong, Mari. Thank you for backing me up. That was my mistake.
It only became a crime when you said this was yours, but...
That seems like a mind game, honestly.
This is the Spartan law. You messed up by getting caught. That was your only crime here.
If that happened to me, I would legit think that you were trying to hurt me on purpose. I would honestly think that you were doing that.
My proposal to you is to reload your save state, take the milkshake, and before it melts, put it in the freezer.
Well, yeah, obviously
to
that's
hold it.
That's the pro player. That's the speedrun strat, obviously in this meta.
Yeah.
But I didn't
No,
know
the
that.
speedrun strat is to buy 2 milkshakes.
That is true.
Oh, I'm just made of milkshake money, Laura.
Wait, why did you get one milkshake anyway?
Because I was trying to do a nice thing and I didn't think I wanted it.
What? This doesn't make. I don't believe your story, honestly.
You are the person at the table who says they don't want chips, and then you start eating the chips off the plate, even though you said you didn't want chips. That is you.
I have a hard time believing that. I genuinely think that there must have been nefarious intentions. Like you did this to hurt her, and I don't know why. I'm like, why? Why would this? The only way it makes sense is if you're evil.
Next time I get like a botch and you're gonna do something mean to my character, You know, maybe you just go really easy on my character, and maybe I go easy on you being a milkshake criminal.
I'm angry now.
Wow.
So, Mari, would you classify this crime as milk slaughter? Is that what would happen here?
I don't know.
Is that what happened here?
There is nothing. If this happened to me, first of all, I would be devastated. Second of all, I really would think that Austin had done something on purpose to hurt me. Because why would they buy a milkshake and then drink it and then tell me, oh, you took too long, I ate it, and it was supposed to be for you, and I only bought one. Like, what kind of mind games? You lawyer?
I'll say this, I would assume there was no milkshake. And it was just, the hurt was the only part of the plan. Oh yeah, I had this milkshake, I was gonna give it to you, but then I had it, it was delicious. Like, what the hell, Austin?
Oh no.
Austin, we love you.
Just like,
Everybody is not on your side at all.
See, Austin, do you want to know what this is really about, Austin?
Someone who hurt Mari.
No, what this is really about is we need to get Sophie into the habit of, like, just really, really hassling you, because that is the Dice Funk way.
You should post this on /relationships and they get slaughtered.
oh, that's what I was going for. I'm trying to get in on the Austin hassle. I've got a little note here from my listen back of the old episodes. Hassle Austin a lot. And I'm just trying to blend in.
Exactly, it's a tradition at this point.
I'm just genuinely angry about it. It didn't even happen to me. I'm just so mad.
Austin, what D&D crimes are you doing to us today?
Well, I think we should actually start the episode with Sophie introducing themselves again and also their character again, just because the first couple episodes you want to get the audience familiar with your links and your class and your alignment and all that stuff, the names, the voices.
The crime is putting the spotlight on me. That's the crime. Okay. So I'm Sophie. I'm Sophie on Twitch and Twitter. I'm CurioVids on Patreon and youtube.com/c/CurioVids, where I do like video essays about junk. It's fun. I have a video up on my Patreon right now about why the Matrix sequels are good, actually. So go check that stuff out. And I play Phillippa, who is an owl, a snowy owl Aarakocra. She's an anthropologist, and she loves animals, and she is also a druid. That's her class. But as I said previously, I kind of figure she was raised a druid. It's not the biggest thing in her life. What she's really all about is her academic studies. So that she's in druid religion for the sick powers mainly. She's kind of good neutral. And have I missed anything? Circle of the Shepherd. Speaking of shepherd, she has a big fluffy white sheep called Nobi. She's very soft.
I think that's where the episode starts, is you feeding Nobi outside the governor's lodge as the group decides where to go next. So we just open up on Nobi, beautiful coat, cute face, little hooves. What else? What's the great parts about his sheep? The tummy probably is really nice.
Ears, probably ears. I mean, it's a one big massive soft delight, really. So
it's a very efficient animal.
Yeah, so Phillippa would be just like, I think she just has kind of a handful of oats at all times, maybe like an oat pocket, so she can just grab some oats out and go like, here you go, Ven, and like feed a little like handful of oats to Nobi wherever they are, whenever the need arises.
I too have a pet. Would you like our pets to play?
What kind of pet is it?
It's a cat.
I mean, maybe.
I feed it my body parts.
Oh, how big is it?
About the size of 20 of your sheep.
Slime isn't very good at math. That's okay.
Okay, I couldn't remember how big the lion was.
Could be a huge lion.
Who was I, 5? Should I say? Okay, about the size of 5 of your sheep.
Yeah. I'll check my calendar and maybe sometime.
It's been fed many bodies and rats. It won't eat your sheep, maybe.
I mean, I like the idea of this opening with you on your way to, while you're talking about whatever you're going to do for the plot, just like swinging by Slime's house, and you see there's a big good neighbor who has put its entire arm through the roof of your house, Slime, and its arm is inside the building, and you just hear Cat growling and snarling.
Oh no.
Who is upsetting my cat? Who is upsetting my cat? This is upsetting.
It appears that one of the good neighbors that is meant to replace or supplant you is trying to tend to Cat.
I cast Shocking Grasp on the good neighbor. I don't like this. This is my space. This is my cat.
Okay, Slime runs up on the good neighbor. Tell me about Shocking Grasp.
Yeah, so I'm gonna shoot slime tendrils out of my fingers and then do like electricity out of me into the big good neighbor.
And it is a robot taking lightning damage, so this is going to be particularly effective.
Unless I roll like a butt. Yes!
26 is not like a butt.
Yeah!
I mean, it's like
All
a
right.
very good butt.
True.
All right, 2d8.
I guess that could go either way.
5.
Yikes, my gikes. That's not very good.
No,
That's bad damage, homie.
my rolls have not been great.
Yeah, so you shock the good neighbor, and it definitely like shudders, but it's more like static and not like the big lightning show you were hoping for. I think the good neighbor pulls its arm out of the building and turns to you, and you see its arm that was inside the building. It is a big brush, like a big hairbrush, and it swings it at you.
Look out, he's going to brush you.
No one brushes my cat but me.
12. You're a wizard, so.
Oh, I'm a karma class 10, so that hits hard.
Well, you don't know how hard yet.
Okay.
4.
Yeah.
Yay!
4.
So yeah, the good neighbor brushes you aggressively, and it's like too hard and it hurts. But it is just a big hairbrush, as if for a cat.
I cast Acid Splash.
He just
How dare
wanted
you
to
brush me?
with a brush cat.
I do not want to be fluffed in this manner. I do not ask for a fluffer here.
Phillippa would like see this going on, look at the other two, engage their reactions, and her reasoning would very much be like, I did like take on like 3 of these already. I don't know.
It might be appropriate for her to exert her frustration on this good neighbor. If Slime gets hurt a bit, I will make sure to tend to her wounds. Otherwise, I think that this is a matter between a pet and their owner.
So can you keep an eye on the situation here for a minute? Neellith, I really wanted to get the recipe for the thing you were cooking earlier.
Oh yeah, no problem, no worry. I will sort that for you now. Now, I cannot tell from how that was said if that was a legitimate request or if this was a I need an excuse to get away from the very big cat question mark.
Oh, it's a small conversation. It would be like ducking away, like Phillippa would go like, okay, so the situation is, Gigi, he said to keep an eye on Aze because someone has gone missing around Aze before, and like, this is the second person around Aze who's gone missing, and I think he suspects Aze, but also I don't know how to feel about this. Like, I've been gone for a long time. Gigi got this big promotion, but also I feel like he's never, like, taken so hard against someone like this before, and I don't know how to feel about it, so I wanted to tell you privately.
It's not like Gigi to be like this without reason. Like, they're not someone, I know that they didn't, get on great with the genius, but I'm not going to deny it's not a little coincidental and suspicious that Arze, has been around a couple of people who have vanished, but that's not the vibe I got off Arze, and Arze is, like, the trustworthy, sensible one in the group. It's weird to me that Gigi would jump to this.
That's how I'm feeling too. Like, I haven't known Aze long, but I stayed with these orcs when I was studying how they do trade a long time ago, and one of them was this very old orc, and he was just really grumpy, and he was like, oh, all the time, and that's kind of that's the vibe, if that makes sense, but I don't know. I don't know how to explain this.
I'm not good at understanding people, but there's a bit of me that says, do we trust Gigi because, they've been around Arze as long as they have? Or, I don't know. This is weird.
Well, I just wanted to let you know about it, really.
I mean, I appreciate it. Like, I guess for now the best I can do is keep an eye on Arze, but also just keep an eye on Gigi as well, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. And I also just wanted to get that kebab skewer you made, because that was actually delicious. I would like to know what was in that.
Oh, I didn't know if that was just a social ruse or not. Okay, yeah, I can actually give you
no,
the recipe.
I mean, yes, and it was and it wasn't, it's one of these things where, you...
So I think there the scene sort of we fade away to recipes being done.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like Ozzy just leaning against something and like mildly coaching Slime as they're just having at it with the good neighbor.
Arze isn't lent against something reading how to be good at disappearing people or such.
This is also like Ozzy has the big book of being a suspicious target. Being grumpy persistently. This seems very easy to do.
Ozzy's grown a big mustache and is twirling it villainously.
No, see, the problem is that the Genius of Grendel had a big mustache. That would imply that I got rid of them to get their mustache. Oh no, though.
Oh, that's pretty grim.
No, that's too obvious. No, we can't go with that. Also, Austin, what did you do there?
I crit. So I rolled for the good neighbor to hold down Slime to clip her nails.
Oh, no.
No!
I am only programmed to take care of cats.
Wow, I will say this. That is an extremely wholesome good neighbor, honestly. Oh, it's too wholesome.
So 7 damage with my crit. So I mean, you're a corpse inside of a bunch of slime. So it's one arm is a big brush and the other is nail clippers. And so it like knocks you down, pins you to the ground gently but firmly, and then accidentally clips off like part of your limbs.
Ah!
Because the clippers are way too big for your body.
This is not helpful.
Ozzy's going to break out the thorn whip and try to grapple with it and try to pull it off of Slime. So he gets the stars form in his orb like a sort of like a vine-like whip with little gleaming stars forms along it, comes out of his sleeve, well, whatever. He just kind of manifests and he swings it at the good neighbor with a resounding 21.
Oh yeah.
And then he tries to pull it off of Slime. 7 damage is what he has to start.
So is that a strength contest?
Yeah, let's just do a strength contest. Why not? All right.
21.
All right. Well, I can't beat that number, but maybe I can roll an 11. Maybe I can roll an 11.
Yeah, so you've done 7 more damage to it. So it's like you whip a hole in it. What do the rest of you do? What do the rest of you do?
I picture the two of them walking back, and they see like Ozzy being like tugged by the whip, like onto the ground next to Slime as the good neighbor is pinning Slime down and trying to manicure them to death.
Gently but firmly, Austin said.
Yep, death by glamour.
I mean, as Neellith approaches, the first impression is, Arze is not acting like a meticulous killer here.
As
you're being dragged around by a cat grooming robot.
This is okay. That's another mark of the Arze fall count. Got it. Next. Nice.
So I think Phillippa would say, kind of specifically to Neellith, because we're the two are kind of free from the fight right this second. Like, I can dry up the water it runs on. I did this to another one of them. If you can open the shell somehow.
I cast Acid Splash.
10, I fail.
Yay!
That's better than my solution, which was going to be put the Beyblade next to like a crack in the armor and then put something on it to try and get it to expand and break it open. in a big scream and spin.
That's really thinking with Beyblades. That's good.
8.
All right, 8 plus 7 plus 5, that's 20 damage exactly. So slime.
Blackjack.
Or I guess, blackjack. No, that's not. It's 21, Mari.
Blackjack -1. It still counts, you know.
Stay.
Paint me the picture of you disabling the good neighbor with acid.
I jump on its back and my chest cavity opens up to show like a new monster mouth, like in the movie The Thing, and then all this acid spills out of my stomach pouch.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people guessed, like, in episode 1 that this was going to be the Thing season, and I was like, no! And then Mari's like, yes!
We're just snowed in a tiny remote village in the middle of nowhere with a shape-shifting
Yeah, but this time the monster's on your side.
But remember, I create the setting before I get the character sheets, audience, so I didn't know this was coming. This is all just kismet.
Austin, this is just you having future vision. Has been proven time and time again when you manage to make all of your settings and plot lines things that other shows will later use.
Tune in for Dice Funk Season 9, which is going to be the They Live season.
Oh.
No, that was season 4, kind of.
Kind of, yeah, it was.
This is
right.
like The Simpsons. Everything's been
I'm
done.
going to fight Skitch to put the ideology sunglasses on him.
For 8 minutes, yeah.
For 8 minutes? Yeah, exactly.
All right, Slime, your tummy opens up and just acid pours all over the back of this robot, and it melts through whatever things are keeping it standing, and it collapses on the ground outside your house. There's a hole in your roof, and you hear Cat inside who has major zoomies.
Oh.
I take one of my hip hands and I shove it on the stump where my arm got ripped off. So now I still have 2 hands that I can use.
Uh-huh.
And then I take my hand that was clipped off by the good neighbor, and I run to Cat and I give Cat the arm to make them feel better.
Aw, all right, yeah, you open the door, and Cat immediately runs over, and you see that his mane has been coiffed quite vigorously. Absolutely no harm has come to this animal. He's just very annoyed by the creature who kept brushing it. And you give him a hand to soothe his temper.
Are we all coming in?
If you want, there's nothing in here. Slime canonically has added nothing to their decor. So it's just an empty.
I sit in an empty room.
There's a pile of dead rats in the corner, if I remember right.
Peeking around the doorframe, Phillippa would use animal friendship while saying, hello! Because she's just very keen on animals.
The animal in question is a myrmecolian, so it's like a half lion, half ant.
Phillippa is excited about especially animals she's not seen before, so she would go like, hello! Oh, aren't you fantastic? And she can actually speak to animals without casting a spell, so...
Druids.
Yeah. So, hello!
Hello.
I don't have a voice for this guy.
Oh.
Hello.
Are you okay?
I am angry.
You look like you got a little fright there.
Big man.
What's your name? It's nice to meet you. Roar!
It doesn't really translate.
That's okay.
Mother calls me Cat.
Should I call you Cat?
Sure.
Can I leave? I have a friend with me, and your mom would like to arrange a play date, but I need to know that she won't eat my friend. Sorry if that's rude.
No, roll animal handling with advantage because you spent a slot on animal friendship, but you do have to convince Cat not to eat Nobi.
Oh, criminy. Okay, animal hand.
This is just the fox and the cabbage and the, the rabbit.
So am I just rolling plus 20 plus 7?
And then you roll that twice and take the better of the 2 results. Yeah.
Same again. Oh, 26.
Dear me, yeah, 26. I cannot complicate the situation. Really, I think Cat will do it. I think the actual in-character explanation is that Cat says, "It's up to Mother."
Hey, Slime. Cat says that it's up to you if it will eat my friend Nobi, and I would really like for it to not eat Nobi.
You can talk to Cat.
I can talk to any animal.
Why doesn't Cat talk to me?
You're not are you a druid? You're a slime.
You could take a level in druid, mother.
You'd have to take 3
Nobody's
levels.
stopping you from multi-classing.
Cat says you could take a level in druid. It's called multi-classing. I don't know what that is. Sometimes animals say really fucked up shit.
You have such a smart child.
Tell Cat, please try your best not to eat your pet. Also, tell Cat, why don't they talk to me?
I do talk to her. She does not listen.
That's what I was going to ask, was whether Cat understood her. Yeah. So, is he okay for Cat?
Yeah.
Okay. He says, you don't listen, and also he understood that, so it's fine.
So I can't cast comprehend languages with Cat, right?
Huh? No, because Cat doesn't technically have a language. I'm being flippant with the rules a little bit right now for comedy purposes.
It's fine. Slime's only devastated.
I will point out that like what Phillippa is doing is pretty much on point here, because speech of the woods from the druid, the shepherd druid, beasts can understand your speech, and you gain the ability to decipher their noises and motions. So I think what we're doing is completely canon.
Not a language. Yeah, that's true.
It's effectively a language in this case. Yeah.
So I guess she'd say to Nobi, like, Nobi, come on in. There's a new friend, and he's very beautiful.
Okay, here I come.
And I guess you could come up with a voice for Nobi too. Hooray!
Yeah. And then Cat's like, I will teach him to be a mighty hunter.
That's okay. He's already a mighty hunter.
Hi-ya! I will hunt you. Wait, I like this friendship already.
They're going to have a buddy cop show by the end of the season.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
And their Moriarty is going to be Drip.
I was gonna say we have Drip, we have Nobi and Cat, so we got 3 already. So this is great.
Incredible.
Cat, this is not a squeak toy. Don't squeak it. If it squeaks, that means you stop.
Austin, in episode 1, there will be only 10 named characters. Players. Bitch, you forgot about animals.
I'm the Bart Simpson holding the chair to your Homer in the bathtub.
Austin, the problem is the precedent has been set that more people can join the village now. We already added one interdimensional being who visited us through a horse.
Yes, and also the plants that we tortured just so we can have the flavor of their suffering.
We can make so many friends. You can't stop us, Austin.
That's true. So I think the planning session for this investigation takes place here while Nobi and Cat sniff each other and circle playfully. So that's kind of the scene in the background while you all talk about what you're going to do about the situation in town. The governor gave you 3 interlocking missions. 1, apprehend the Genius of Grendel. 2, destroy any good neighbors you come across. And 3, decide what to do with criminals.
Well, I think we need to hold off on deciding an entire criminal system to employ. It seems like it's complicated, messy, and would involve an entire 40-episode season to unpack the flaws thereof in a prior life. But
What's a season?
I don't know. It's
a season's when the weather changes and the snow goes away for a bit.
But what's an episode?
That's when I have a really bad day. I'm having exactly having a bit of an episode.
I'm happy, by the way. I wanted to confront it head on, so to speak, that Gigi tried to deputize me as in charge of your moist friends, and
I saw people saying that you weren't put in charge. You were made a liaison to the Moistwatch, which is just not the same thing as being put in charge.
Okay, good
listening to that conversation, I did get the vibe that this was a hey, you're in charge secretly.
Okay, well, backtracking, I would be like, Gigi made me the liaison, and I have no intention of being the head of your moist friends. So I wanted to say that anything you all want, I am happy to report back to Gigi, not taking any kind of... If that makes... it's nice to meet you all properly. This is the first time... And I think she'd sit down, maybe, and trail off.
Thank you. It is really nice to meet you two, and I super appreciate knowing up front that the new friend in the squad is not here to stab us in the back. That's very appreciated. I like that in a friend.
Thank you. You've been very welcoming. I was going to say she gives a nice smile, but she has a beak, so it probably doesn't make any sense.
You smile with your eyes, okay?
It doesn't matter if it makes sense. You can smile.
And I smile. I smize. A real warm smize, and then lights up her pipe and just, like, chills out.
Plot twist, you have a pipe.
Big plot twist. Phillippa likes to blaze at 420 every time there's a chance. No, yeah. I think taking things head on for a second was too much, and she just needed to sit down and have a smoke.
You wouldn't be the first character on a Dice Funk season to have made their whole thing getting blazed all the time.
Okay.
Oh no, I just broke my girlfriend's nail clippers.
You're dead.
Ruining
Austin.
a day today.
Austin.
Dude,
Come on.
I don't tell her. Just lie.
You're a criminal now. You're on the run. You're just gonna have to go off the grid.
Listen. All I gotta say is, I wonder what next month's credits are gonna be like after all this. This is gonna
I'm in
be
so much trouble.
Austin, hide out in Grendel. We haven't made a system yet for what to do with criminals.
I'm not entirely sure who would have been the last person to have seen the genius, but I think you and I both know of who would be the most connected to whatever they've been scheming, Neellith.
I mean, there's a couple of options, but I feel like maybe Shoko the blacksmith is probably someone who I mean you don't build screaming discs without talking to a blacksmith. Maybe you do. I wouldn't build screaming discs without talking to a blacksmith first.
I wouldn't build streaming discs.
I mean, I wouldn't either, but if I had to, like, if I were the genius, the genius has an inbuilt need to make screaming discs. If I also had that need, I would probably go to the blacksmith.
Yeah, I knew an elf like this once.
It looks like we will need to be paying the creator a visit. So, how are the beasts tending to each other? Sophie? No, sorry. Are the beasts tending to each other, Phillippa? Who's Sophie? I don't know who Sophie is.
Yeah, so I mean, I passed the question along to Austin, right? Like, how are they doing?
I mean, I think Cat plays too roughly, but not dangerously so. It's just, if you're watching casually, you might be worried. You ever seen an animal video like that where you're like, oh gosh, I hope this isn't bad for them. Oh, I fixed the nail clippers.
So my favorite example of that type of video was a video of like a dog playing with like an Australian magpie, and like the two of them just like playing around, and you think, oh no, don't get hurt, magpie, but they just know how to just avoid hurting each other in the process.
I like to think their dynamic is much like those comics where like one is really big and scary and the one's like really little, and they're just like, I don't know, a little dynamic Connor and Hank
like
from Beyond. Wait, what? Detroit Become Human kind of vibes.
Just pure uncut Fujoshi shit on our show. Come on.
Terrible. Wait, I've literally never. Okay, I know that people think Connor and Hank are a couple. That's fine. I did not see them that way. Do not accuse me of being a gay fetishizer. Okay.
No, it's an endearment term.
You just called me a trash woman in Japanese.
It's in a fun way.
Assault me with my mother tongue? Why?
This is the episode in which Austin just gets on Mari's bad side at every moment.
You're not actually on my bad side. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. When he kills off Cat by the end of the episode.
Oh no, no!
I will come to your house and bring your girlfriend a milkshake. And be like,
Oh, damn.
Don't do no, please, Mari. Jolene.
Anything but
like, check your nail clippers.
I
Just
fixed
check
them.
them.
I fixed them.
See if there's but there might be something a little off about them.
I'm gonna have to leave this in because Mari just like, I'm gonna fuck your girlfriend. It's very
No,
funny.
I did not say I'm gonna fuck your girlfriend. I said I would bring her a milkshake. You put the rest together.
All right, do y'all want to go see the blacksmith before I get cucked?
I was just planning on breaking you guys up, but if I don't know.
Austin, there's no stopping you getting cucked, but we should go see the blacksmith.
I'm just losing it.
Good luck with the cooking, guy.
I have no interest in interrupting anybody's relationships unless it's for what Austin did. It was genuinely to bring justice to the milkshake lists in our world.
The only thing I can think of wordplay wise is like, what is this, a cookies and cream milkshake or something? I don't know.
I mean, you can add it to Neellith's restaurant, and then it'll be an in-universe joke.
All the mains are brain puns. All of the desserts are cuck puns.
That's not true because we have the medulla oblongata. But anyways, let's go to the blacksmith.
I have to say cummies and cream. I said it. Don't put it in. Just delete it. I had to say it out loud, though.
I'm just gonna beep around it.
just beep around. That's so good. I love it. Love it. Just do it. Just...
Okay. Does anyone else have a horny dessert to be beeped out before we carry on?
Or cookies and cum.
Chocolate parfait.
This is the conversation on the way there. So you all leave the house, you bid Nobi and Kat farewell, and on the way there, you're just making gross puns to each other to make suggestions to Neellith's menu. So now it's canon in universe.
Wait, it's cum vegan?
I mean, if it's consensually given.
So if we cast talk to animals and we ask like, hey, can I diddle your udders?
We're not putting animal cum in the food.
No, that's not what udders do, Laura.
No, the conversation was about cum a second ago. I got confused.
Your breakfast cereal experience over the years.
I'm crying a little bit.
Oh, I understand what you were on about the others now. Is it vegan if you can ask the cows for the milk? I understand what we were doing.
Wait, make a dessert where like it's boobs, but instead of milk comes almond milk.
I'm sorry. Can you expand on the thought? Make a dessert that's boobs.
Think. You know, like those foods where it's like, oh, it's like a soup dumpling, but instead of a soup dumpling, you make it out like the outside out of something sweet, and you just like, take a nibble of the nipple and just suck out all the almond milk or sweetened milk, some sort of vegan, boobs, and then like inside is a delicious creamy vegan treat that you suck out of the nipple.
I'm okay to keep recording a little bit later if we need to record more time. Make a block
The train has fallen off the track.
Sorry, all right.
All right.
Back on track.
This is the episode that finally gets us taken off iTunes.
So we make it to the blacksmith.
You asked me to elaborate.
I will save you, Austin. We make it to the blacksmith. Hello, blacksmith.
All right, so you get to the dump, which is where Shoko lives, and there's a large fence all around it, a high fence with barbed wire. There's a gate that is locked. That is the entrance. None of you have been here on camera, but every time the genius shows up, they have to give Shoko food for Shoko to unlock the gate. That's how that has appeared on camera so far. But before you can even get there, I will say there is a good neighbor. I think the good neighbor is actually sitting outside the gate with what seems to be some kind of old broken machine. One of its arms is a big hammer, and the other arm is a big blacksmith's tongs. And it's using the tongs to hold the machine in place and using the hammer to repeatedly strike this already broken machine.
Neellith attempts to walk past the good neighbor.
I would do it as well.
So you start approaching. The good neighbor stops hammering, looks at you, and stands up. Roll initiative.
Okay, so this time it started the fight and not us.
Correct.
Okay. So it's not just what I had suspected might be the case, where they were just defending themselves because we kept fighting them.
I think you need to roll insight to maybe put some of the information you have together.
17 on insight.
14.
Aze rolled a natural 20.
Ooh, dang.
Holy shit.
17 as well.
Wow, incredible insight rolls, dog shit initiative rolls. So here's what you've learned. Aze, you got a crit on this, so I guess I'll just give you everything. You understand that each of the good neighbors has their own programmed priorities.
Right.
So for the barber robot, the first one, it just wanted to get to the barber's shop and then cut people's hair, and so it only kicked those horses by accident.
Right.
The chef one was trying to get to the restaurant, and then there was meat in front of it, so it flipped the meat. It just so happened that you're made of meat.
Right.
The blacksmith robot, which is very much like Shoko. Shoko is a gremlin. Gremlin's main thing is taking things apart. So it sees things and it tries to take them apart. You are things.
In character, is Neellith likely to know food is the entry price for the dump?
Yeah. I think all of you have met Shoko before off screen, and you know Shoko exchanges food for a door.
It appears that this one is keen on disassembling, and it just has found a few more things to disassemble. And with that, Aze will move to do a little bit of protection by using his star map he's using a little globy star map to do a guiding bolt shot, a first level one at the Shoko neighbor. So let's go ahead and do a shot here. That would be a 21.
Oh yeah, that hits.
And so that will be 4d6 damage. So it takes 16 radiant damage, and the next attack roll against it has advantage as star patterns gleam around the body of the good neighbor, making it easier to target and attack.
All right, so at the end of your turn, it uses a legendary action to reach out with its metalworking tongs and attempt to grab you. So, dexterity contest.
Okay. Let's see here.
I botched, so I guess I lose all my legendary actions for the round. Huge failure. Embarrassing. Let's never speak of it again. Neellith, it's your turn.
I rolled a 7.
Okay, I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna try and do something, and maybe this will pan out badly, but I will try. Neellith is gonna go prepare one of her items of food that she can prepare per short rest. The healing food item she has, and offer one to the good neighbor.
Yeah, I definitely want this to do something, but by the rules I've set up here, it does not, unfortunately.
Oh no, that's totally fine. I went into this knowing that, like, it might have no effect, and more than that, it might actively heal the good neighbor. But I had to go with the logic of, I think what Neellith would do in this situation is try and mimic what she would do for the person who lives and resides here, and hope that the good neighbor responds in the same way that they would.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to say it does not heal the good neighbor who does not attempt to ingest it, and I'm not sure it would do anything even if it did. Maybe it would. I think I would rule that it works on Warforged at least. But rather you hold out the scone to it, and it just brings its hammer down on top of your head. I crit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Sorry about...
Surprisingly, I don't have 28 armor class yet.
Yeah, my word. Sorry about this, Laura. Sometimes dice happen. 31 motherfucking damage.
You do not need to apologize. That is called role playing. That is where the story gets interesting.
That was so brutal because you did such an interesting, sensitive roleplay move.
Yeah.
Bonk.
Hey, there is nothing more rewarding in roleplay than I tried to do a nice thing and literally got smashed into the ground.
Oh gosh, that's a hell of a bonk right there. That's two exclamation marks.
Yeah, Neellith don't have many bones being a squid person. Very smushed right now.
Yeah, I think you absolutely get driven into the ground with the force of this. You're not unconscious yet, I believe.
No, I'm still alive, but I ain't looking great.
All right. Does anyone else in the group have fire spells?
I can produce flame.
Can you set something on fire with it?
If I run up with it like a Zippo lighter. Hang on.
So
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I would like to have some teamwork, if I may.
You may.
I would like to cast web on the good neighbor that looks like a colossus.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think you're referring to my picture in Roll20, which is a Sentinel from X-Men, I believe.
and so I would like to cast web on the good neighbor, and the rules are it could either be between a 20-foot like distance between two buildings, or it can just be like a cube that it's in, or just like web it up. But webs are flammable, and any 5-foot cube of web exposed to fire burns away in 1 round, dealing 2d4 fire damage. So I don't know, like, if that's...
Okay, I would like to produce flame and burn up the webs. Yep.
Produce flame does have an attack component to it, so you could attack the thing and it also burns the web at the same time. That's my thought.
Yeah.
Is that good? Is 15 good?
15 is not good.
What?
No.
Why?
What? Because it's an armored robot.
You know it's just because Austin's being mean because we were mean about the milkshake thing. That robot doesn't have more than 15 AC.
I will invoke my reaction to burn one of my benefics to give a bonus d6 to that roll there.
Thank you.
So roll d6 and add that to the roll.
Another 4? Would that do it?
19.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, nice. So now I got...
The stars on it gleam and pulse to guide the flame onto the body.
Heck yeah. So I've got 2d8 from my produce flame, its own damage, and that's only 3. God damn it.
4. So together we did... That was a terrible idea. I'm so sorry.
It was very spectacular.
I thought it would be so cool. It wasn't at all.
Visually, it was cool.
Yeah, visually it looked really... Everyone imagine something cool, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first round of combat is you all walk up to the good neighbor to gauge its reaction. It stands up and starts attacking. Ozzy, you blast it with the beam. Neellith, you try to offer it food. It hammers you into the ground. Slime, you spray web all over it. And Phillippa, you light it on fire, but it just walks through the flames, only mildly singed. And we're back to Ozzy.
Okay, so Ozzy, seeing Neellith just get smacked so hard, we'll use his bonus action to invoke his starry form wild shape. So he will invoke the cycle. So stars gleam around his body. He glows. Constellations of a tree and a leaf form along his arms. And then for his action, he will cast... Which one am I going to throw? I will use a 3rd level spell slot to cast Dignify, which is my version of Cure Wounds, on Neellith.
Oh, dip.
So Neellith is healed for 38 hit points.
That'll do. I imagine this is like in the cartoons where someone's been flattened and they stick the thumb in the mouth and they blow and they sort of pop back out.
You stick your thumb in Ozzy's mouth.
That's literally what I was imagining. That's amazing.
At the end of your turn, once again, with my legendary actions restored, I'm going to try to grab you with the tongs. That's a 3. My word, the tongs are just not working out tonight. So
Ozzy will not be disassembled so easily.
No, let's just forget about that entire mechanic for this fight.
Roll hacks. I'm convinced Ozzy/Skitch has roll hacks because they always have the best rolls, and I can't even do a good one, even one
Poor
time.
Slime.
Yeah.
Neellith, your turn.
I'm gonna try, because they're electrical, mechanical robots. I'm gonna try heat metal because they're made of metal, and I can heat that for big damage, hopefully. 7.
All right, yeah. So
Does that get like doubled or something because it's metal? Are you gonna give me any bonuses?
it was already free. You don't need to be bonus greedy. Come on.
Yeah, I do. This thing punched me into the ground. I want to hurt it.
Okay, so you heat it up, and it takes 7 damage. So that's it's got a little bit of health left. It's going to lift its mighty hammer because it's got just one of its arms is just a huge, almost sledgehammer. I think it's going to try to bring it down on Aze, who keeps avoiding the tongs. I had a whole thing with the grabbing with the tongs. You jerk. 15.
That matches my armor class.
All right, 7 damage is that you get knocked aside by a big hammer.
Ozzy gets bonked accordingly. Got it. I'm going to say it's canon that the hammer squeaks a little bit when it hits things for no reason other than just it squeaks.
Ozzy squeaks.
Slime, it's your turn.
I would like to cast Shocking Grasp again. Tendrils shoot out of me. And, much like one of those, clear defib things, it's like that. And I shock them with my body. So then I have a +7.
I've played Trauma Center. I know about those guys. For real, though, Trauma Team is way underrated.
So I got a natural 20 for hitting them.
Yep, which means now you take your dice and you double them, so you're rolling 4d8 for your damage.
Really? Oh,
yes.
Awesome. Yes. It'll be all of ones, I know.
It is statistically impossible for the good neighbor to survive this.
17.
34 damage.
17 damage. Oh,
But it's
no.
doubled because they're vulnerable, yeah, so it's 34.
I did 48, though.
You did infinity damage as far as the robot's concerned.
Okay.
Mari, for the second time this episode, describe how you destroy a good neighbor and what
All
it
right.
looks like.
Thirsting for revenge about my cat being slightly upset, I channel all of my electricity for the day. I don't know. And just really just channel all of my electricity into it, yelling. Everyone's like, this is not a yelling situation, but I'm still doing it. And then I'm done. It all sucks back into me.
So the good neighbor is charred to a crisp and collapses outside the outside the dump. Congratulations.
Aze is going to tap himself and heal himself with a boosted Dignify on himself. Let me just get the healing in there. Oh, let me get that roll here. Yep, 25 heal. Gosh, for a first level spell slot, that's so much healing. Aze's body glows temporarily with his constellations as he heals himself.
I'd like to knock on the gate.
Yeah, you knock on the gate and get no answer.
I'd like to wild shape into an ant, crawl under the gate, and open it from the inside.
All right, the wild shape rules are complicated, but I assume that works, and I'm not going to check. So it works perfectly. You turn into an ant, go between the bars, turn back into a snowy owl, and unlock it from the other side. I bet it's probably not that complicated to lock, actually. I think Shoko mostly does this for eccentric flair rather than security concerns.
During all of this, Neellith has some food held using the cantrip Mage Hand. So it's held at a big distance so that there is no confusion. There is food here first, and no Neellith without food.
No, I like that. You're respecting Shoko's space, and those are the rules.
And not wanting to get smushed into the floor again, too. There's definitely food here. Please don't smush me into the floor.
So this, I keep saying dump. There has to be a synonym for dump, which is fun to say now that
Scrapyard?
Scrapyard? Yeah, the scrapyard.
We say tip.
You say tip?
The tip.
Yeah, the rubbish
You take
tip.
stuff to the tip.
The tip.
I've never heard that in all my years.
Yeah, you empty your wheelie bin and then you go to the tip.
Oh, so you fill up the wheelie bin in your garden, then take it over to the tip. Got it. Nice.
Well, the tip would be for the things that you don't have room for. You know, you couldn't fit more bags in the wheelie bin, so you go to
The
the
bin
tip
men will
instead.
come for the wheelie bin. Yeah, we'd be taking this. This is a different thing.
Still the most educational podcast on the internet. So before I describe the tip to you all, I need investigation rolls, and I'm going to tell you now, there's a lot to find here. It's a very big, complicated place. So,
I'm so ready to investigate.
so right up front, there are thresholds at 5, 10, 15, and 20. So you're going to get something probably no matter what, but how much you get, wow, that's a crit.
I crit. I did my first crit.
Ozzy rolled a 12.
I crit.
Congrats!
And it was an investigation. That's my favorite skill.
You're gonna be so smart. You're gonna know everything.
The party got 12, 4, 21, and 9 with a crit. So without the crit, I would say the threshold you actually only passed was 10, because there's only 2 rolls over a 10. With the crit, I'm going to say that's actually the 15 threshold you passed. Is what I give you for the crit is essentially bumping it up 1 threshold, which means you're going to find most of the things here, but not everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Phillippa's gonna carry us out of mediocrity.
Into mostly success, yeah.
I imagine Phillippa's looking all around, and when I say all around, as she comes in here, she's an owl, so she's looking all around.
The head fully rotating.
Yeah.
So you've been to the scrapyard before. It's a smelly pile of rubbish, mostly. The couple of interesting features are the various projects Shoko has going at any one time, things she's taking apart. She's not here. I guess that's the first thing to note. You do not see Shoko the gremlin on the premises, which is concerning. She is pretty well known for not leaving this place regularly. So that's... feels like a relevant part of the mystery. The first thing you find at the 5 investigation threshold is the sigil from Potter's Barn.
Huh.
That was the symbol that the Baku sold Potter and had installed in the door. It has been freed from the door. The last time you saw it, the dogberry was like cordoned off. But that sigil is now separate from the door and is lying in the middle of the ground here. So that's curious. The second thing at the 10 threshold you find is that there was a project Shoko was working on, and there's some like a to-do list or like an ingredients list, a parts list for the crafting minigame she was playing in here. One says fuel. So that's something she needs for whatever she's building here. And another thing on this list is graphene.
I assume, do we know what graphene is?
History roll, actually, to know graphene.
23.
Holy shit, Slime, you're a graphene expert. That probably existed back when you were a much smaller mass of slime mold particles. You can tell the group, they're like, what's that? And you're like, oh, that's a fancy metal from the before times when the folks colonized the stars above and they lived on them. And they're like, excuse me, people lived on the what? And you're like, I don't want to explain this to you. It's metal.
By the stars above, I mean by the stars above, I mean the stars that are currently below, but before it used to be above. Just saying.
Yeah.
The upside down stars were once colonized by creatures that I ate one.
And she learned about their metal. So yeah, Shoko is building something. She needs fuel and graphene. Those are the 2 things on her list here. And the last thing for Phillippa's crit that I will give you here, a rucksack. There's like basically a bag of stuff. It looks like Shoko is planning to take somewhere. There are 4 like modules for mechanical objects, and you show them to the group. And Neellith, because you crit on your investigation in the Genius's workshop, you recognize their shape, and you know those will fit perfectly into the obelisk.
Ooh, I will have those. Are there enough of them to fill the obelisk slots?
Absolutely, yep. There's like 4 slots on the obelisk and 4 items here that looks like Shoko is going to transport. So that's what you find in this investigation, basically. Shoko's not here. The sigil is here. Shoko needs fuel and graphene, and Shoko has the rest of the obelisk for some reason.
I have a question about the parts list. I have a documenty satchel that I established is like linked up to a university, and I send reports there, and I just want to pitch the idea that I could say, hey, I could scroll on it, hey, any of you nerds know what these would be used for? Real shot in the dark, and like fax it to the university through my documenty satchel. and see if I get any response.
Yeah, so I think the Document Sea Satchel seems like an extremely broken item, so its uses are going to have to be pretty narrow, but this feels like within the scope of anthropology, so I think this is perfectly fine. If you send a note to the university, let's establish a name. The University of what?
Oh, good fellows.
Of what?
Good fellows.
Okay, you just looking at the good neighbors and you're like,
I was looking at IMDb. I'm sorry.
I thought you were going to make an ooh pun for the university name, but that can be handled some other way.
the College of Joe Pesci.
It's an Italian-American college, okay?
It's a Fuscany. Oh, it's in Fuscany. Got it. Yeah.
They're from Sicily.
Sicily.
It's very important. They're Sicilian and they have connections.
Yeah, you'd think they would all be united, but there's actually intense regional rivalries there. Mm-hmm. Christ almighty. So you send a message to the college, and they do get back to you. I think within the scope of anthropology, you'll know that graphene was an important metal to many pre-apocalypse societies. It's very rare, very valuable. Many wars were fought over it. It's if you can find like even a gram of it, you'll become obscenely wealthy. Most of it's thought lost. The only place really to find it is if you can scavenge old technology from the pre-apocalypse. So Shoko is going to have a hard time finding that, not only in the post-apocalypse, but also in a tiny snowed-in village.
Yeah.
That's the main. I mean, fuel doesn't really require a definition. It's fuel.
Right.
So
right. I would relay this to the party.
This does not seem like a run-of-the-mill project. Also, don't tell me they're missing too.
Headmaster Ray Liotta is very interested in this.
Where would they acquire enough graphene to do anything with it, given its scarcity?
Also, should we be concerned that the weird sigil is present in the place where someone isn't where we would expect to find them? Is the sigil eating people? I don't know if that's possible. I wouldn't put anything past this thing.
Just imagine for a minute that I'm an inattentive listener to like a radio program that you're on. What is the sigil and where did it come from?
It was basically a magical bouncer and it was being used as a conduit for a nightmare creature to bring nightmares to life or something.
I will say, actually, in addition to it just laying on the ground here, it looks almost burned. You would need to roll to know more. But it doesn't look like the last time you found it. Arcana, I believe.
It allowed a creature to basically bring our nightmares to life and try and murder us all. It was not a good sigil.
We also altered it in order to directly enter the realm of dreams in order to deal with the creature that was responsible for this.
Oh, like the popular myth, Freddy Krueger. Mm-hmm.
Freddy Krueger.
You are like dream warriors in a sense.
We were warriors within a dream.
23.
Wow. With a 23 and an 11, I think everyone looks at that and everyone just says, like, it looks burned. And then Slime, you look at it and you're like, it has been altered again. It was previously used to open connections to the dream realm.
Wait, I need to spit on it first because that's how I interpret it. I just, spit a little bit and then, it sucks back into me.
That's how you get to know
I can't
things.
just look at things. My eyes are rotten.
Oh, no. It was previously altered to open a portal to the Dalcor, or the dream realm. It has been altered again, but whatever it was altered into has been, like, burned and defaced now, so you don't know what kind of portal it was attuned to. But someone used it.
I have a theory. What if it's a portal in time?
Huh.
Your blacksmith wants graphene, and it's a thing that is not around now, and it's from the before something. And what if it's a portal in time?
They went to before the apocalypse. Yeah, if they went before the apocalypse, they'd be able to find graphene more easily, but how would they get back?
I would say while you're talking about this, Phillippa, there's something in here that no one else has commented on or really noticed because they've seen it before, but maybe it is curious to you if you haven't come to the dump. There are some black gears sticking out of the ground and just calmly, moving, just whirling interlock gears. It's just part of the landscape no one's commenting on.
Do I, recognize it from anything anyone has told me before?
You grew up here. You went.
Okay, well, if I've been here before, then I don't know. If I grew up here, then I kind of feel like maybe I've been here before.
Yeah, it's a role play choice whether or not you're familiar with the machine or if it's just like a tourist attraction. Growing up here, you're like, yeah, it's the tourists love it. Everyone wants to get their portrait painted with the gears.
I think that I and other friends would fly over the dump and try and drop things to grind into the gears when we were growing up.
As someone who grew up like half an hour from Disney World, that's how I feel. I'm like, yeah, Disney World's right there. I don't. I'm extremely over it.
You're right there. I love Disney World.
I mean, yeah, the magic is kind of gone.
You can go across the entire planet in Epcot and be drunk. Like, what's to complain about?
What's Epcot? I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop it.
No, I'm the one that's half an hour away from Disney.
All right. Yeah.
All right, so I just dumped a lot of clues on you for this investigation. There's a lot going on here. What do you do?
Just as a stab in the dark, I think that Neellith's first instinct here is going to be to try and use locate creature in an attempt to locate Shoko, which I'm guessing will not go successfully, but you got to give it a try.
Yep, fair enough. You use locate creature. You think about Shoko the gremlin. She is not within the range of your spell, so you have gained the information.
Just making sure they hadn't, been buried under a pile of trash.
I thought of a lead for who might have last seen Shoko if Shoko is missing.
Yeah.
Well, it's a tip. The rats.
I mean, yeah, if you want to ask the rats seem like...
I want to ask the rats.
Okay, yeah, you can speak to animals. I assume there are rats in the dump. I had not foreseen this. Animal handling to get them to not run from you because they're skittish by nature.
Hell yeah.
I've pet a number of rats in my life. They're nice.
I have 2 pet rats, contrary to what people might believe, since I feed my pet rats. But they're actually quite loving.
I messed that up bad.
You botched, which means you take
I'm
4...
keen on this. I'm keen on this idea, though. Could I cast Animal Friendship and try it again?
Well, yeah, so you take 4 damage as the first rat you tried to talk to bites you on the face.
No!
That was a very rude
Not my
rat.
face.
But if you want to spend a slot, we can definitely do that.
I'm going to Animal Friendship then, and then I'm going to... Should I do a second roll of Animal Handling to make that advantage, or should I do 2 roll, should I separately roll with advantage?
I'm going to read Animal Friendship to the audience. The beast must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or be charmed. So,
okay.
Rats are not renowned for their wisdom.
Let's see what happens.
I mean, Master Splinter, but okay, speak for yourself.
Watch your mouth about my boy. I rolled a 3, so it failed. And there's a second, much nicer rat who is willing to answer your questions.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Hello, small friend.
A voice. No one's ever done a voice before. That's the thing.
No one's ever done voices. That is true. That they you should maybe go for a Brooklyn accent to invoke the Staten Island pizza rats.
The pizza rats. They're like, hey, what do you want? I'll walk in here.
Are you from my university?
Yeah.
Are you from?
How's Professor De Niro? He's really phoning in his latest work. I gotta say,
his reputation is mostly carrying him as an academic at this point. People show up to read his papers.
Just to say they met him, you know?
Because he's famous. Right, absolutely. So we're looking for Shoko, and I was just wondering if you saw her, and if so, when?
The rat says, "Hey, oh, I haven't seen the gremlin here in a little bit, but I was walking over near the tailors the other day, and I saw them talking. They were trying to make some kind of a deal, maybe some kind of offer you could or could not refuse if you're so inclined."
God damn it. That's very interesting. I don't suppose you heard the specifics of the deal they were making.
Oh yeah, the big-eared one wanted some fancy metal.
With the big ears and a mustache?
No, paisan. The big-eared one's the gremlin. Come on, she lives here.
Okay. And also my friends were wondering about this sigil. Do you know if anything spooky happened with this?
Hey, oh, I don't know nothing about that. Come on, what do I look like? Get out of here.
Okay, thanks. Do you like oats? I have some oats.
I only like the gabagool.
I also have gabagool, actually.
Well, all right then.
I carry it for carnivores.
Maybe you're not so bad. Maybe we can do some business.
God damn.
Skitch is my friend. I'm allowed to do this voice.
This is completely fine. I just wanted to make a reference to the AA minor league team, the Staten Island Yankees, who were known for a period of time as the Staten Island Pizza Rats. So that was a thing that was actually happened.
Is your university mascot the Fightin' Scorsese's?
Oh gosh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Anthony, stop talking to that owl.
Oh my god.
The mascot is a raging bull, and the team is the Fighting Scorseses.
Fuck, all right, that's great. Sorry, you gotta
love this.
You have to excuse my Gumar. She don't know what she's talking about.
Anthony, you stop talking to that owl right now. You don't know what they are. You don't know them.
We're canceled. We have to stop.
Everyone's just gonna want the sitcom of these rats. That's what's gonna happen.
So I've got a plan for finding out about the sigil as and when we're ready for it.
Anthony, get back over here before they exploit you for media. They want to make a TV show. They're not going to pay you enough. We gotta go.
Okay. Wait. One quick thing. You said there was a deal. It was the tailor and Ashoko were making a deal.
I gotta go. Sorry. You know how she is. You know how they get the broads.
Out of character.
Don't
just
call me a broad. I can hear you.
Just checking. That's what the information that I got out of this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I gotta go eat some trash. I'll smell you later.
Good luck. Don't stop believing.
We're going to church. You don't know how to act.
Oh my god. I want to kill Slime so you can do that voice as your character.
Gary Cooper. There was a man.
I mean, depending on what body Slime takes over next.
If Sun Moon Stars asked Slime to talk like that, they would.
Hint, hint.
Can I call you Adriana from now on?
Oh my god, Sun Moon Stars, your eyes are so sparkly.
Sun Moon Stars starts doing heroin, and then the season just completely just goes.
No, the nanny. We're thinking the nanny.
Yeah, but I love the
Fran Fine.
Oh my
Fran,
God.
it's
Oh, the
fantastic. It's
Yes.
fantastic.
A thought and idea. Maybe the bartender knows how this sigil got here.
Neellith, thank you very much. Eyes on the prize. Investigation extraordinaire. Laura, you might just want to tell the group what you're doing and tell them to come with you.
Okay, if no one objects, Neellith is going to suggest that maybe we go talk to the bartender and be like, "Hey, did someone specifically come and get that sigil?
Sounds
And
good to me.
Can you tell me anything about that? That seems like pertinent events."
If no one objects and we're setting off on the way there, Phillippa tells them all about the rats and everything that just happened.
Uh-huh.
There.
Okay, so the party goes over to the Dogberry. You see that the elevator / door has been lowered and is just permanently open now. And I think there's probably like set up like a little tent over the entrance so that when snow falls, it doesn't get in the hole. But you can just like walk over to the entrance, the hole in the ground, and it's a little drop. It won't hurt to drop in, but it's like, you know, you can't just step down into the bar. So if you all drop down into the Dogberry, you will see Potter down there. What's Potter doing on his day off?
Taking a nap?
I think when you get in there, you drop down into the bar and you see that Potter is looking over the dismembered body of a good neighbor.
Okay.
What kind of hands does it have?
Oh, drink shakers.
Okay. Oh, I was gonna say like one was a drink shaker that was like just like a rag just to wipe the bar down all the time.
Yeah, a dish rag and a shaker. But when it
And did you say this one's dismantled?
when it came to try to help with the bar, Potter, who is a bugbear, a large, muscular, traditionally evil and violent D&D species, although Potter is a more rounded, nuanced character, he's still very strong and just tore it limb from limb with his bare hands and is now just kind of looking at it.
Oh, were you also not super into the idea of a mechanical friend helping you out in your place of business without knowing what it was gonna do?
Hey, bruh. No, I mean, no one touches my bar but me. This is my place, my rules, so...
Exactly, that is how I am about the kitchen. I was like, there is every chance this is going to be a helpful robot, but it would not be me doing the work, and that's not how it's done.
Also, I'm not sure about the sanitation of having a rag arm. It doesn't seem replaceable, he says, like holding the arm made of a rag.
So we got a couple of questions for you. That weird sigil that was doing creepy nightmare stuff in the bar.
Yep.
Do you know what happened to it?
Yep.
What happened to it?
Genius took it right after you all came back from the, dream doohickey.
Huh. Did they say what they wanted it for?
Nope. Experiments, probably.
I mean, that does seem like them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, mystery solved. Genius took the sigil from my door. Heard some explosions over at their place right after. Didn't question it.
What? How long ago was this?
Literally when you came out of the portal, yep. Everyone came over to see the egregore, and we're all like, wow, it has my eyes. It has my hair. Genius picked up the sigil, rolled away.
I mean, for everyone else's sake, I should probably point this out. I have a bunch of things that will fit in the obelisk back at the Genius's place, and that might give us some answer as to what they were doing.
Also, now that you're here in the bar and you see the liquor inside the Dogberry, it occurs to you that alcohol is fuel for technology of your understanding.
Hey guys, alcohol is fuel for technology, at least to my understanding.
Did the Genius, or perhaps someone else, maybe someone who lives at the refuse yard, perhaps take some alcohol to use as fuel, as per our understanding?
No. Nope.
Have you seen Shoko lately or at all?
No. And Austin will just say it was on Shoko's list and like not crossed off. So if Shoko is going to get fuel, that's something that wouldn't have happened yet. Also, I just want to be clear, this is not the only source of fuel in the village necessarily. It's just an option.
Mm-hmm. Right. If we want to do the side quest of finish Shoko's project, whatever it happens to be,
100%. Yep.
Potter's very laconic here, and I'm just wondering if we need insight or something in case they're being a little.
I would say everybody roll insight, and Phillippa gets advantage because Sophie said laconic, and I like that word.
All right, I'm gonna have to learn new words now.
That's my second Spartan reference in the podcast today. Mm-hmm. Insight +7. Wow, I have so much insight.
18.
23.
Yikes, my gikes.
Also, Austin, are you saying that if I get like a word of the day calendar, I might get advantage?
No, I was just being silly. I'm just trying to bring fun to the
Well,
show.
Ozzy's the worst one here with his 12.
Yeah, these rolls are incredible. 23 and 23. So I think both Phillippa and Neellith noticed that Potter is being very short with the group. And I would just, 23 is so high. I'll just say that there seems to be something that he's hoping you don't ask about.
I think I would say, this is actually a tangent, but I think I would go, oh, by the way, Potter, I'm back in town. Hello. It's good to see you again.
Oh, hey, I didn't recognize you. I forgot we knew each other.
I grew up a bit. I've been away a while at university that we've probably gotten the mileage out of now. So
You're so big now. I forget how fast you grow.
yeah. I would probably trade. I would probably be happy to live a bit longer like you all, but
You know, when I was governor and I would brag about the village, I'd tell people, you ever heard of the anthropologist Phillippa Heck? She wrote that thing about the orcs and all their money and whatnot. Yeah, she's from where I'm from.
that's not exactly what it. Anyway, so you're. Look, can I roll something here?
While this is all going on, Neellith is going to cast Detect Thoughts just on the surface level.
Ooh.
Because you were saying that there is something that that Potter really hopes we don't ask, and I'm hoping that's surface level enough that I can get a sense of direction.
Okay, you cast Detect Thoughts, and so you get the surface thoughts of Potter right now. And usually I describe these in terms of like visual memory, like you see Potter doing X and Y, but he has Charcot-Wilbrand syndrome and so does not have visual memory. And so you get these just as disconnected, almost like sentences, because it's just his inner monologue and words. And so you hear him think, I hope she doesn't ask about the genius breaking the governor's window.
Hey, Potter.
Yep.
Weird out of nowhere question that just came to me out of the blue. Have you had any conversations with Gigi recently about the genius?
Yeah, that is weirdly specific and out of the blue. Funny about that, huh?
Funny about that. No, yeah, I mean, look, the genius is missing, and I have reasons to ask about Gigi. By any coincidence, would that be the case?
Now listen, I'm not looking for any trouble.
We're not looking to cause any trouble either. But
I mean, no offense, but, a little bit of a pyro, rolls with a kind of a tough crew. Y'all are extremely armed. I'm just a barback,
I'm just a bookworm.
I'm just a squishy ball of tentacles and our friend's missing. What's up?
They are missing, so I don't want to be weird about it. I just don't want them to find out that I, was talking out of turn and do any experiments in my booths, if you catch my flaming drift.
No, I don't catch it.
What I'm getting here is the genius is threatening to burn down the bar.
In public, in front of many witnesses, they really have no compunctions about threatening fires at any time. You've all seen this.
Yes, I was there.
Yeah.
I remember you tried to kill me with a Bloody Mary.
That's
they
not
tried
how
to get
I
revenge in my name.
That's not how I remember it.
I remember it that way.
Okay. It's not a big deal. Just the genius was threatening the governor, attacked the governor, broke a window, and I fixed the window. It's over now. It's fine.
I never recall the genius actively threatening anyone. They only act on impulse. This seems out of character.
It seems out of character to threaten people. You just said you remember when they threatened to start fires inside of my...
They didn't threaten, they just did it.
Or okay, if the If the word threaten is getting us hung up, well, I guess I'll amend it to just doing stuff. The genius
Just doing stuff, yes.
Just sure does some stuff.
So that's why there was some broken glass in Gigi's office when we were there earlier.
Oh, I thought I cleaned it up. Did I miss some?
There was more. If you did, either some was missing or there was more broken glass after the matter.
You must have rolled real high in perception.
You.
What?
Well, that's a very specific observation on your part as well. But
That's a bugbear idiom.
Yeah. Phillippa, are you old enough to drink? Do you want something?
Oh yes, I'm like 50 in human years.
Hell yeah. Come get some. Potter pours you all drinks.
Hell yeah.
Attempted murder again.
this is all very curious, to say the least.
I think we should maybe find Shoko, and I have an idea that she might be at the tailor's.
That is definitely a possibility. Also, I want to put these things in the monolith and find out what it does.
The obelisk, yes.
I'm very curious about what the things do. I really hope these ones don't scream.
Counterpoint, I want to not point those things in the monolith.
Knowing Genius, we have to be careful about that. It's liable to make it, us, the mountain, or anything, number of things explode if done improperly.
Look, I've been here a day, but I'm just saying I've spent most of that day fighting giant robots made by your friend, and I would like to, yes, find out what they do, and then decide whether we put them in the monolith.
The robots were poorly designed, but implemented to help or replace us, whichever one.
We basically have two things we are worried about. We're worried about the genius, and we're worried about Shoko. We have two different leads to go off of.
I only say the genius because A, they've potentially been missing longer, and B, the sigil that we found was taken by the genius, so it seems like these two things are going to end up being one thing, probably.
Slime votes for looking for the genius, as they recall signing an oath to moistness.
Everyone remembers the famous moist pledge.
Yes.
Look, if none of you feel strongly enough to make a decision either way, I'm going to make a decision. I want to plug some things into a thing. So we're going to go do that then.
Just on the record, the only thing I feel certainly and strongly about is that I am very afraid of what will happen when you do this.
Indeed, but also, I'm not going to never do this, so let's get it out the way. Deal with it while we've got spell slots.
While we're on the way, is it possible to look over those objects to see if there's any clues that might be upon them before we arrive at the workshop?
100% Neellith trusts Arze to have a much better grasp of what these actually are, rather than just, oh, it's the right shape for the hole. Like, Neelith's level of engagement with these things is like a toddler that's realized that the star shape goes through the star hole.
Ozzy's going to spend some time then, like, looking over these four objects as we approach the workshop.
Yeah, it's totally fine. It's just triangle goes in the triangle hole, that's all.
Yeah, like Ozzy has like three of them held in a scarf in one hand, and he's holding one of them in the other, and he's sort of flicking his finger and tapping it a little bit. It's like, this is very uncharacteristic of the genius.
Despite the way they turned out and the fact that I destroyed the one that was coming to help me, I do genuinely think the genius was probably trying to help with these robots.
Or replace us.
My suspicion is, if you were to make a bit of a stretch here, it was a contingency plan to keep the town operating in case everyone in town were to abruptly disappear. But what I'm saying is that I'm flicking my finger against this object and it's not bursting into flames. That is very uncharacteristic here.
The party takes the four objects back to the genius's workshop. None of you, except for Neellith, have been here since the good neighbors were unleashed, so you also see the state of the genius's workshop for the first time in a while. And as Neellith learned with her crit,
There's no sign of a struggle. There's no sign that the genius left in a hurry. It seemed like they were working and right up to the point that they disappeared. And they have it's like you're like, if the genius just rolled up right now, they could go back to work like nothing happened. There's a trap door. Neellith unlocked it already, and you all go down into the basement where there is a large obelisk with the genius's face on it and 4 slots for some kind of object.
Aze will then just nod over to Neellith and say, in any case, you, given your eagerness to see how this plays out, I give you full authority to...
Yeah. I get it. I will put the things in because then if it explodes, it's all on me. I get that. That does mean I get to put the things in the slots, and I think it's going to be cool.
Listen, as part of the moist pact that we have made, I think we're just in collective agreement to do this. You're just the one that proposed it, so it's only right to allow you to go through with it.
I will take all the credit if this turns out to turn out really well, and Neela starts plugging in the various shapes.
And Gigi gets all the blame if it fails.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad you understand.
So you put the 4 objects into each side of the monolith, and a light comes on with a little error message which says, "Fuel empty."
This is the thing that was being built.
To my understanding, alcohol can be used as fuel.
I mean, from my understanding, that is correct. Alcohol can be used as fuel.
If we're making the thing work now, alcohol can be used as fuel.
All right. As you all do that, you hear voices in the workshop above you. 2 voices, and they say, "Prepare for trouble and make it double.
Oh my god.
To protect the world from devastation. To unite all peoples within our nation. To denounce the evils of truth and love. To extend our reach to the stars above. Kaboom! Kablam! Team Genius blasting off at the speed of light. Surrender now or prepare to fight. Bloops! That's right!
Austin, I've never been more happy to play Dice Funk.
Do we want to end there, or do you want to find out what Kaboom and Kablam are right now?
I do.
Can you...
we have to end on seeing them to give the audience a week to figure out how to draw them before we all die.
That's true.
You poke your head up out of the trapdoor into the workshop, and you see 2 flumps. The psychics, jellyfish people. We've talked about one before, Ruth, the therapist. These 2 are not her whatsoever. One has the coloration of military camouflage, the brown and greenish patches that are like, army uniforms. And the other is completely see-through. I think you can see like its rudimentary interior. This one it has the appearance of almost a man of war, which I realize is not a jellyfish, but it looks like one. They have very long, dangerous-looking stingers, and in those stingers, they are carrying weapons. One has what appears to be just a slingshot, a child's slingshot with a little rock, not that dangerous looking. The other has a chainsaw.
I mean, I bet Team Rocket would have got more Pokemon if they'd had a chainsaw.
Also, Bloops is there, and Bloops has a gun.
What the
Wait,
fuck?
what's
Okay,
Bloops?
okay.
Can we end that?
I was following the pack, all swallowed in their coats, with scarves of red tied round their throats to keep their little heads from falling in the snow. And I turned round and there you go, and Michael, you would fall and turn the white snow red and strawberries in the summertime.